What's up, Curiosity Crew? Today we have a 1963 Mercedes back there that we're checking out. So, the original owner is here, and they actually flew in for this, which is pretty sweet. So we're going to go and get some interview questions answered, and just cover some details about the car. It's gone through a pretty lengthy restoration process, and it's actually been detailed by Mike with Denver Auto Pro Detailing. And Tish has been coordinating all of the mechanical restoration to it, so pretty sweet, man.
Is my hair okay?
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
I'm Scott Bergeron out of Littleton, Colorado. This is my Aunt Joy, and my last name is Bergeron. Her last name is Bergevin.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, my mom had two very, very close last names. Originally it was Bergevin, and then it became Bergeron. So anyway, and this is Sadie. This is our 1963 Mercedes 220 SE Coupe. It's a fuel-injected 4-speed automatic car. It's all original with one paint job. It's had one interior refresh, but that's about it.
I'm Joanne Dorothy Wakeman Bergevin. Joanne is my real name, and that's what's on the license plate of the car is Joanne. My husband and I were just looking for a car for me, and we stopped at a used car lot, and it's actually Harris Ford in Linwood, Washington. And I had a little girl in the car that she was sleeping. I was holding her. I didn't get out of the car. And I didn't think we'd find anything that day anyway, because I didn't even know what we were looking for. So he came back to the car and he was all excited. He says, I found this Mercedes. It's like new, and it's only $2,500, and they don't know what they've got. And before we left, he'd bought the car, and I still hadn't seen it.
And this was in, what year was that? Was that 1967 or 8? Wasn't it?
Must have been about 66.
66. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought it was beautiful, and I felt like it was a heavy car that was safe. Yeah. And I loved everything about it. Of course, the radio and everything worked in those days. The story was that this couple had gone to Germany, and they bought the car. And they did some touring, and then they shipped it back to Seattle. And they didn't keep it a long time. I think maybe because it was they were older, and I don't know what the deal was, but maybe they needed the money or something. And we got it.
So how old were you when you bought it?
Well, you'll have to do the math.
I'm not going to have you do the math.
No, I can't.
I know Jerry was about 27 or something, right? 26 or 7.
Oh, well, I was 3.5 years younger than him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that they did. They owned the car, up until Jerry passed in 2015, and then I was doing a eulogy at the service, and Joy and I was talking about how this was the first car I ever saw as a young 5-year-old, and how I became a car guy because of this car, and saw it pull up to our house, and my dad said, "Oh my God, what is this?" And he thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I did too from that point. And so Joy and Julie, my cousin, were in the audience saying, "You need to buy it. You need to fix it up. It needs to stay in the family." So that's why I picked it up, and I had it shipped down to Colorado here, and had it restored and got it running again. Pretty much the paint was already done, and the interior was done. Jerry had already done that, but we didn't know it at the time though until we pulled the cover off, and it was all, the paint was really, really nice. And Justin, looked at me and said, "Well, yeah, Jerry had this done in 1995 and had the interior done," and so it was pretty neat.
Yeah, the leather had a lot of sun damage. I remember driving down Nevada and through Nevada. They had no speed limits that way, so we were going 90, 110 down the road and hit a pheasant, or the fence, and it made kind of a bang. I thought, what in the heck is that? We pulled over, and there was a little dent in the grill. So the very next town we went to, we went and got a rubber hammer, pounded it back out. You could never tell anything had happened. Stuck the grill back on, and away we went. So that was one of the things I went, oh my God. The other time was when Scott had somebody loaded on a trailer to bring it down here. I thought I would never see it in one piece. I didn't know how it was going to get down here. I thought, what if there's a huge hailstorm? What if he gets hit by a car? What if the trailer was so close to the ground? I thought, what if the trailer drags on the ground? But He took such good care of her. I'm very proud of him.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Right now, the memories. My kids sliding around in the back seat. That's what they remember.
yeah. There's seat belts in the front too, but none in the back. So
Yeah, well, I had some put on in the front, but they really don't do any good. But I thought if a policeman pulls me over, at least I had made an effort. But so we did get pulled over one time with the kids in the car, and he didn't say anything about my driving. He just talked about the car.
Oh.
And the kid said, "Mom, he just pulled you over to see the car." I said, "I know."
It's the best.
yeah.
So
How about for you?
Oh, I think just it's just very sentimental. I mean, it's been in my life since I was 5 years old. So it meant a lot to bring it down and to get it running and to get it to where it's roadworthy again, and it is. That's the nice part, is driving it around is just very, very sentimental, and it's awesome.
when I saw it today, I cried.
Yeah.
Cried with happy.
Good.
Oh my goodness. Well, when it got older and we couldn't find people that knew how to fix it. It seemed like every time we'd have something worked on, something else would be wrong.
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the hardest part. And then by the time we had 7 kids and 19 grandchildren, no, not quite that many yet, but
Yeah,
I have
close.
21 now.
Close.
But we kept the car, but I got a 9-passenger station wagon to call all the kids and the dogs in, try to keep the car in good shape. But it sat in the garage, and when people would come over, Jerry'd take the cover off and show her off. He was so proud of his car.
3 years ago, I had the keys to the car in my sedan, in my Audi sedan, and somebody rifled through the car and stole everything out of the console, including the keys. And I didn't know how hard it was to make keys for a 63 Mercedes. And everyone said, oh, this guy will do it and that guy will do it. And it went back and forth with 4 or 5 different people trying, and it took forever to find somebody. So all I would say is to anybody, just whatever old car you've got, make 2 or 3 sets of keys, put 2 of them in the safe and call it good. But I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know it was going to be virtually several years out of its life just trying to find the right thing. I wasn't working on it full time, but it did take a lot. So
And to get the registration.
and to get registration from the title, out of state title, and yeah.
We don't know what Jerry did with the registration. We couldn't find it anywhere.
I'm going to say a big shout out to Tish Gantz, because she's the one that found all the keys for the place and for the car, and it was really cool to finally see it back on the road just from that. But that was really a pain, a total pain. So just that's the biggest downside to it. Other than that, no, it's been great. It's been great. Yeah.
And then you flew all the way out here from Washington?
Yeah.
Nice.
Left Seattle yesterday morning. I have to tell you, ever since I let home my daughter Julie, he is the nicest man. Is so thoughtful. He asked my daughter Julie if she could accompany me before he asked me.
Oh.
And when he called me, and at first I was kind of stunned, and then I bawled and laughed for a half an hour after that. And I wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't really know what the mechanics were going to be, but I told my friends, and they're all excited, waiting for pictures. My family's going to get lots of pictures too. Julie, is there something else we should talk about? What do you remember?
My thing is just laying in the back window.
I love it.
It's always funny how back in those days the two-door cars seemed to be still a family car.
Yeah.
They're never a family car now. There's not that many 2-doors left, but it was funny because my wife Trish has got stories of a Mazda 2-door that like a family of 5 would constantly get in and see how many can you cram in the back seats. And but yeah, it's always cool. But now it's like I have a 2-door. It can't be a family car.
Yep.
It was back then and was quite often. So anyway, yeah, that's it.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nice to have met you.
Likewise.
Looking forward to the picture.
And Tish, you helped out, like, get this back on the road a little bit, right?
Yeah, so it was, Scott had it in storage and the keys got stolen out of his truck. which was super sad. Like, who would just take random keys?
Right. Yeah.
And then he was trying to find somebody to come because he couldn't move the car. Right? It was in a parking garage where you couldn't get it out of the garage.
Yep.
And so we were just talking. He's like, hey, can you help me do this? And I'm like, yeah. So I started hunting down key guys, and I found a guy who would at least come to where the car was.
Nice.
So we got that done. And then he needed more light, so we ended up pulling Sadie out, getting her on the flatbed, taking her to the shop. Eventually, I ended up having to pull the ignition switch out of it. But that was okay. It wasn't too terrible.
Nice.
I have a picture of that,
Cool.
which will go in the thing.
Of course.
And then it's just been the slow roll on getting the door keys, the trunk key, all that. And then that was like, now we can drive her. Oh, she needs tires, she needs shocks, she needs this, she needs that. And so I've been overseeing all of her processes because Scott doesn't have time.
Right.
And so I'm like, what do you want to do next? And he's like, I want this. And then I go and bring him all the options. So the most fun one recently was the horn center wouldn't stay put. It's there was 3 plastic pins and they were just tired.
Sure.
You know, they're original.
Yeah.
And so it took me a little bit, found the pins. I'm like, that's kind of pricey. So then I found this like super duper inner city shop that had the pins, and they wanted $115 a piece for these tiny little plastic pins. And I was like, 20 is fine. I'll pay 20 a piece. So, but it's all back together now. So
Nice.
yeah.
And Mike detailed it?
Mike detailed it
Nice.
on Thursday. And then you haven't met my buddy John because he's pretty reclusive. But
Okay.
John over at Special Interest did a lot of the mechanicals and draining of the gas and getting it like good and going. New windshield wiper motor.
Oh, hell yeah.
New wipers on it because somebody had put like this janky off-brand. We were like, what is this? It was just wrong. There's just no other way to describe it. So yeah, it's been a labor of love, but in all the right ways.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like every time we find a piece, everyone's excited.
Yeah.
So
It's like a scavenger hunt.
It's like a scavenger hunt, but it's unbelievably original and been in the family. It's a 63, but it's been in the family since 68.
Nice.
And her husband bought it for her. And we even have the original vanity plate that says Joyanne on it. So she
cute.
wants her picture with that.
That's so cool.
No, it's just, she loves the car. And yeah, those were fun to take off. Lots of little tiny screws.
I bet.
Lots of little tiny screws. It's actually really great. Like compared to modern cars, everything is just regular hardware. So once you figure out how to get to it, it's like all you need is a screwdriver. There's not like I need this clip thing and this plastic bit's gonna get me. Like it's just screws.
You're not dealing with like crazy electrical problems, I imagine. So
no crazy electrical. No. And a fun fact: this is fuel infected. Mechanical fuel injection.
Huh.
Yeah, like a Corvette.
That's extremely rare for its time.
Extremely rare for its time. So
cool.
It's really neat that it's got that, and we'll do, obviously open the hood and do the thing.
Yeah. Well, seems like you did an awesome job.
I did. We still, there'll still be things that she needs, so I'll still be around to like be helping out and everything. But Scott's so happy because he's like, I want to like enjoy this car, or I need to sell her, but I can't do it. And I'm like, don't freaking sell her.
Right.
Let's get it done.
Yeah.
Right? And now I don't think he will anytime soon, and especially after this and seeing with his aunt and everything. So, but yeah, when the uncle passed, and she was kind of like, oh, it's just been a shelf in the garage for all these years, and so kind of the rest of the family's like, Scott, you're a car guy, you should buy this. And so I wouldn't say he reluctantly did, but he was like, well, okay, and then the stuff happened where he couldn't get the keys and everything. He's like, we're not being a good owner, and now he's like, now I can be a good owner, I can drive her, and I can do the things. So
Nice.
But yeah, it's nice to see her all shined up. I mean, she was clean before, but after Mike got done with her, just
Yep. Absolutely perfect.
Oh, okay.
You can take this one.
That could be the photography walkie.
It's not necessary.
What's up?
Here's for you.
Thank you.
So we can stay in touch
Mic
with
check,
you
1
next.
2 1 2. This is Brandon. I'm on the mic too.
Hi, Brandon on the mic.
Hi, Brandon on the mic.
Sounds like a radio show.
2 2.
I think I'm on number 1. Who knows? In the Mercedes.
Roger.
The lens is in the bag.
In the bag.
The bag.
Airport TSA
is worst nightmare.
Who's that?
This is a series.
Guest appearance. Hi, this is how I go. It's cool.
That was a great way to start the video there.
I don't share that sentiment. We're not gonna die. Hopefully.
It's just photography. No one's gonna die.
If I go, I had a pretty rad 32 years. It's all good.
Dude, and doing something you love while you're doing it is the way to go.
100%.
All right, Marty, driver's side rear.
Thank you. I appreciate
Go
you.
very slow because this harness doesn't do anything. What am I doing?
Okay.
God, that-
Thank you.
That might be somewhere.
I feel like I'm sitting in a Chanel store or something.
Thank you. Ooh, yeah, it's fancy.
The AC doesn't work, so.
Oh, that's fine. I'm used to that. I have nothing with air
Get this guy in
conditioning.
the center first.
I can like zoom like this.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Cool story, cool car. I like that.
Thank you.